everyone. Welcome to this week's live session. I will preface this with my internet seems to be a little finicky, so if I'm glitching out, let me know. But yeah, we're here. We're doing it at this later hour again this week because Luke is still traveling in Asia, but it's also just wonderful because we get to include some of our Asian users on this, and I need to go set up the theater right now. I will go and do that. So let me bring up Luke here so that I can go set up the theater because I have not done that yet.
Hey everybody. Yeah, no, I need to get in the theater too. Oh, shame on
Oh
me
my
for
gosh,
not being on the
I haven't even put the right link. Oh my gosh, what a mess. It's been a chaotic few days, I will say that. So 1 minute here.
No worries. Yeah, so excited to join you guys today. Excited to get a chat with our Asian audience again today. Even though it's kind of early in Asia right now, it's 8 a.m. So yeah, maybe some people are still sleeping, or maybe you're on the subway going to work. But yeah, no, excited to be here today. And yeah, no, I guess we can go through some updates on where we're at with everything. Give you some updates on potential token timelines and what we're seeing with that right now. And then kind of just move into the rest of the AMA too. So we'll answer questions about everything. But yeah, I just want to state first and foremost that I hope after this point we've built a feeling of transparency with all of you, that there's some level of trust between us executing on the things that we're trying to execute and actually getting stuff done. So we've been building in public for the last like over a year and a half, doing weekly AMAs for over a year and a half. And yeah, it's been great just being extremely transparent with the ways that we've been building, what we want to be building, and all of that too. Obviously, there's been some things to get pushed back every now and then. Obviously, there's some things that we pivot on too. Like if you were listening to our AMAs back in January 2022, like a year and a half ago, some of the things that we were talking about in terms of vision are a bit different than what they are today. Mostly because we tried a lot of things in the space, and we've kind of settled on a direction that we think is going to be more effective than the direction that we had set out before we even actually started building. And now, yeah, we're at a point where we're feeling pretty good about the product that we have. We're seeing really good numbers in terms of retention and engagement, daily active users, all of that, and we feel really excited about the next step. And we've been dying to get a token out. So all I can say is that we're getting really, really close to it. What we are doing around this token is it's not going to be like Berry, we're not going to do like a stealth launch on the DEX. Like we're doing a whole proper thing. So there's just a lot of logistics behind it. I was a little aggressive with the timeline. And then there were some things that, popped up in the space, like, new regulation popping up, some risk and compliance that, some of the other partners that we have to deal with, we're just a bit more cautious around. So all I have to say is the token is still on track, and we're not slowing down on it. In terms of product and everything that we've been building out, we're ready. Our team is ready to release the token. Now it's just basically getting all the next partners ready as well, so that we have, as successful of a launch as we could. That's the main priority. So if we wanted to, we could launch on the DEX tomorrow. But that's not the kind of launch that we're trying to do around the Pixel token. The kind of launch that we're trying to do is like a whole proper thing. So just note that it's coming. It's not a year out. It's not 6 months out. It's as soon as we can wrap up partnerships and move on to the next stages. So appreciate the patience with that. The team really wants to get it out too, because we have a ton of product features that we've been working on for the last 6 months. And we really want to get those out. We think that'll increase engagement. We think that'll make the game a lot more fun when we get these features out. So that's like the big team priority too, where it's like we've been prepping all of these new game mechanics and game features, and we have a whole content backlog built around the token and built around pets that we can't release until we do the TGE. So the team really wants to get that out because we want to start to evolve the gameplay. The team is kind of tired of having to think about all these short-term fixes to get engagement up, because we do think that pets in the long run is how we want to kind of think about long-term engagement in the ecosystem in game. We think that it offers a lot of really interesting avenues for gameplay, and that's super exciting. So for us, our job is to build a game to make sure that we have the game growing, to make sure that we have something that retains users, that gets people playing every single day. And we're doing the best that we can. So far, the best that we can is one of the best in Web3. So give us some credit for that, please. But yeah, in terms of the next stages, we're just really dying to get on to the next stages as well. So we'll keep you guys updated. When we have that firm date, you guys will know, because we will not shut up about it. I promise. We'll get very noisy, and we'll make sure the whole entire space of Web3 knows when that date is. We have a bunch of fun stuff lined up for when we have it. But yeah, there's just a few things that are not totally in our hands right now. So again, we'll keep you guys updated. And yeah, I think in the meantime too, what we'll maybe start to do is we can maybe start to release more written material on token utility and all of that. Like we talk about in the AMAs all the time. But yeah, maybe it's time to start actually like writing it down and sharing that transparently as well too. Yeah, anything else you want to touch on, Heidi?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much going on, and my computer keeps freezing on me right now. So I'm irritated. I'm trying to pull up different things and I can't. So, all right. Yeah, lots going on in the community recently. We've had a bunch of summer solstice parties, and they've been so much fun. The one earlier, I think it was the
Base?
Yeah, base event. Sorry, I keep thinking asterisks because we had to write out asterisks in like the group chat because we couldn't put a star. Anyways, the base event, it went really well. There was like 200 people there when I showed up. It was insane. It was wonderful. And all of them have just been so much fun. So yeah, thank you guys all for showing up for those and having a blast with us. They've been so much fun. There are still a couple more. So there's 2 tomorrow. There's the Seam Party, Dizzy Dragons, and then YGG on Friday. Yeah, just so many. I'll see you guys there. It'll be really fun. Yesterday, of course, we had a release, which was also really great. So we got a new mayor in office. So if you see people walking around with their elephant head, you know why. Elephantium is your new mayor, and they chose to have the elephant head created. They're going to host 2 energy parties. One will happen, I believe we've confirmed the time, after the AMA next week. And the AMA should be at normal time next week, I think. So,
yeah, I might need to make a pit stop in South Korea. And then I can finally head home.
so I believe the AMA should be at normal time next week. We shall see. But either way, the energy party is probably going to be then. So we just need to confirm some time. And then we'll organize the second one later in the month. And then the negative option they chose was if to increase the energy taken when you change maps. So that sucks, but that's the point, right? There's got to be one negative in there. All right. We also released HUD improvements. So our game designer and art team really wanted to take inspiration from something that felt more like farming. And what do people wear when they farm? Overalls, jeans, right? So they were like, let's go with the jean theme. And I love that that rhymes. And yeah, that's what the new HUD is inspired by, to look like jean. So we hope you like it. I think it's awesome. Oh, new denim style. Sorry, I should call it denim. That's what we've written here on our release notes. Okay. Another big thing is what we're working on in the background, and it hasn't been released yet. And if you're watching right now, it probably won't affect you very much, but we are completely overhauling our onboarding process just because we wanted to make it a lot more streamlined, the flow just to make a lot more sense. Because one part of that is Terra Villa is enormous. It is massive, and it's easy to get lost and confused about where you are as a new player. And so we've implemented a bunch of new maps at a lot of different entrances all over the place. So go around, click on them. They're kind of fun. They're new. And then we had a dashboard complete redesign. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have hopped on there already and seen it looks a lot more like a dashboard now. And the really cool part of that is we have daily rewards. So if you go in every single day, you can claim, I think 10 berry just for logging in. And of course, we're going to have more and more things in that reward system over time. So stay tuned for that and make sure you make a habit of just going to your dashboard every day to redeem. What else is there? The skills tab. If you guys click on the skills tab, you'll see that it's now kind of like the energy bar, which was also switched over, in that it kind of like has a bar showing you how much you've gotten out of 100, which is just kind of like a cool feature. And we also implemented that because it looks a lot better on mobile. So some of these changes we're making are to make the mobile experience better. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the other one. Yeah. The farm share link. Really fun. So now you can share kind of like a read only version of your farm with anyone. So they don't even have to be a Pixels player, or they don't have to have a crypto wallet. They don't have to have anything. So we thought, like, use case, maybe people want to share their farms with people on their social media platforms. They can put it in their bio, something like that, and then people can click on it, and you'll go to like a read only version of that farm, which is pretty damn cool. I'm really excited about that. So I was curious to see too if it starts people designing out their entire land more, because I know a lot of people only design like the front half because that's like the most accessible, but now that people are sharing the entire farm, will we see more designs? I don't know. We shall see. And then the last thing to speak to is oh yeah, we just made like a little rainbow pride outfit. We didn't have the capacity or the time to do anything big, but we wanted to do a little homage to June being Pride Month. So yeah, little rainbow suit, which is really cute with the elephant head. It's my favorite new outfit. So yeah, that was a lot. If you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything about that, throw them in the live feed here, and we will yeah, we can chat. So yeah, Luke, do you have anything else you want to chat about?
I mean, yeah. So in terms of everything else that we're working on, yeah, I think what I'm pushing the team for right now is thinking about the gameplay in ways that are going to change gameplay, if that makes sense. So I'm pushing for a lot of new types of, we call them nodes and entities. But yeah, I think the gameplay is getting a bit stale at this point, in terms of what we're offering, and yeah, I mean, you guys have been playing the same farming game loop for 7 months now, which is great. Honestly, some of you more, if you guys played before this alpha version of the game. And yeah, I think we're at the point now where it's time to start investing in, either enhancing this game loop in ways that alter gameplay slightly. Things like maybe automation, where, Stardew Valley has sprinklers, like a whole progression system around that. It might be time to start putting more resources into areas like that. Or we're really interested in enabling social gameplay as well. I know the team has been messing around and investing resources into areas like that. So yeah, I think now for the next few months, as we get the pixel token ready, as we move towards UGC, as we get pets in the game, we'll also start to make some investments in core gameplay loop enhancements as well.
Okay. Let's pull up a couple questions. I think we can keep this AMA short. We don't have a huge crowd with us today, and we don't have a ton to talk about either. So that's totally fine. But yeah, throw any questions you have in the live chat. So someone has asked this a couple times. Will there be more Tastemaker rewards events? Not exactly. That's
But
all.
there is something coming with the Forge team, is what I can say.
Okay.
And we're yeah, and we're pretty close to releasing that. They have some cool stuff planned up around that. If you want to stalk Harry's Twitter, maybe you'll get some hints on what that potentially looks like. But yeah, there's some cool stuff. We want to plug more into the Yuga ecosystem, and we have a whole thing planned around that that's coming out quite soon. We're very excited about that.
Wait, Harry has posted leaks.
Oh yeah, Harry's posted lots of leaks.
What's his Twitter?
What is it? Harry underscore. Is it? Yeah, Harry underscore Forge.
Oh, that's really exciting. Okay, hold on. I'm like scrolling through now looking.
He's posted screenshots. Like, I don't think anybody noticed either.
Really? I haven't even seen these. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to go through harder, or I'm sure other people will scan through to see.
He's
Okay.
very active on Twitter right now.
I know, right? I personally haven't posted on Twitter in ages. Too busy. All right. Well, anyways, scroll through there. There might be some leaks on Harry from Forge. Okay. Would you guys consider doing tiered daily rewards? For example, daily reward of 10 berry could be 100 berry for VIP/landowners. I kind of like the idea of doing, if you do it every single day for X amount of days, you get a bonus.
No, so the whole point of this dashboard and how we've set it up is, yes, we want to set aside separate pools for landowners and VIPs. That's an extremely important part of this functionality that we're introducing, and like more utility that we can add to both of these. And that's a large part of the Pixel token plan as well. Essentially setting aside, honestly, much larger pools of rewards for landowners and for VIP owners. How I like to view the free rewards is I like to view them as kind of like a user acquisition cost. But it's really important when we're giving free to play rewards to people, especially when we're thinking about the Pixel token, that we're giving it to real people. And we have ways that we can figure that out after a certain amount of playtime. So if we give out rewards to our free players who have progressed through the game through a certain amount, that's totally cool. But then things like a daily login, that's much riskier to give to a free player because chances are it could be a bot. So things like the prerequisites of owning land or owning VIP are huge for the distribution of a token and how we're thinking about things like that.
All right. Okay, we get this question a lot. Day and night themes. Luke, do you want to kind of talk about why this doesn't?
Yeah, it says day and night's interesting. Like it's funny because I implemented it in a few games when I was making games back in the day. It's like a whole second set of art, basically. You can't just put a black screen over day and night things. You need to like shade it blue, for example, and like there's undertones that you need to add. And it's just a lot of effort that I'm not sure how much value it unlocks. So I have to come in and like make decisions around, okay, what are the different things that we're going to be working on, and does it actually move the needle in terms of progress? Like, is this feature that we're releasing really going to help us get more users? Is it really going to help us drastically improve gameplay? Is it really going to help us get to the next stages?
All right. VIP timer when it's in the works. It's coming. I don't know the exact release that it will come with, but it's definitely something that we have created a ticket for, and it's in the backlog. It will come. Okay. When merch. So I talked a lot about merch on our last AMA, I think, about like how we're doing it, why we're doing it, all of that. So I would suggest, I talked about it like right at the beginning. So I would suggest hopping over to the other AMA after this one, the old one, and listening about like how we're doing it, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, because it is a little bit different than the normal just buy and ship. That it's more like pre-sale, sale closes, goes into manufacturing, and then process, and then ship out. So there will be a bit of a delay, and we're doing that to lower the cost as much as possible to you guys. We are not taking a cut. We're not taking a penny. We might even lose a couple dollars on this because we're going to do some giveaways. And we just wanted to do that because we don't want to profit off of merch. We want this to be like a community activity. So your question, when merch? We're aiming to probably do it around the time of the TGE. So that'll give you like a very rough estimate of when it's going to happen. So yeah, I can't give you an exact answer quite yet, but it's definitely coming.
When VIP for landowners. Okay, so landowners and VIPs are two separate things, but yeah, give us some feedback on this because this is the part that we want to make a bit more clear, I guess. Landowners and VIPs have most of the same perks. The only difference is the lounge that they can access, the gold name, and like there are like two benefits that stack if you own both. But the whole point is we want to make sure they have like the same utilities so that a landowner wouldn't need to buy VIP. The main benefits are right now landowners have no restrictions on withdrawing a deposit or trading or anything like that. And it's going to be particularly useful when we have the Pixel token out as well. Landowners will get their own separate pool of rewards, even separate from VIPs. So the landowner rewards only be split between, max number of landowners, and obviously landowners that are engaged in the game. You know, that's a pretty good benefit to being a landowner when we start to do the pixel distribution, where you get your own reward pool that you don't have to share with other people. So, for example, how it kind of works is we'll say, hey, there's going to be 100,000 pixel of rewards for landowners this month. And there'll be all these different tasks that landowners can do to unlock them. It'll be things like daily login or, planting like 10 pop berries, things like that. But you don't have to compete with people who aren't landowners to get these rewards. And this whole pool will be split across landowners, basically. So it's active. You need to play the game to get it, but you get your own reward pool if you're a landowner. Same thing with VIP. We'll probably put aside a pool for VIP, but those users who have VIP will have to split it across all the VIPs, which is more than landowners right now. And we also might make the pool smaller. There's different things we can play with here. But yeah, we want to make land feel like it's worth it. And then, we also want to make sure that VIP is worth it too. So I think the main thing that people are missing who are landowners who don't have VIP right now is the energy replenishment from the VIP sauna. Correct me if that's it. I think that, yeah, that's what Emil is thinking about when he's asking when I'm VIP for landowners. He really misses the VIP sauna. So that's something that we can maybe fix. And we'll talk about that. If we want to open up access for the landowners into the VIP lounge, or if we want to add landowners to have their own separate energy regen in that lounge.
And don't forget Hotatos, of course. They have Hotato access that no one else does, and more will come with that as well. Sauna and one extra row.
Also, landowners do get an extra row in their inventory. You guys have just owned land this whole time, or you maybe didn't notice.
All right. So it doesn't look like we have a lot of questions today. Oh yeah, someone else suggested we need some smaller game loops to make things interesting, and Beebs, one of our players, has been doing some good work like this, giving away some rewards. Yeah, no, we agree. We definitely, like I said, we're completely overhauling our onboarding to make it more ease of flow and access to new beginner players and just kind of like lower level players. So that's definitely in the works.
Yeah, so this is also one of the things I'm pushing when it comes to, I don't know if everybody fully understands what I mean when I talk about this, but it's why I'm pushing for different types of nodes in our game. And something I'm probably going to reiterate again internally, which I want to push for. So things like, there's really tiny changes that we can make that will unlock a whole host of new UGC options. And I'm not talking like decorations UGC. I'm talking just like things that you can do on your farms. Things that are like very tightly integrated into the core game loop of pixels. So if we did things like, a pressure pad in the a pressure pad that you could step on and it like unlocks a door on your farm, or things like a dispenser where like the first 5 people that come and click on an item get an item sent to them, so that you can do like interesting rewards or races. Like if you guys have played Habbo Hotel, they have a bunch of examples of stuff like this. Different objects that you can push on a farm that create interesting options to make mazes or puzzles, things like that. Things like a teleport on your own farm. So that's the kind of stuff I'm pushing for internally lately. I probably will like re-push for that again, because I think that unlocks a lot of gameplay. It helps our engine get better. And that's exactly it. Exactly. So yeah, it's just, honestly, it's just borrowing from Habbo Hotel. There's a lot of stuff from Habbo Hotel that we can learn from. And it's interesting in Web3 gaming. I say this a lot. There's barely any novel issues in Web3 gaming. Most Web3 gaming issues have been already encountered by literally any MMO or social game that you've seen before. So yeah, borrowing from other games and like really looking at what other games have done is super important. I think our team could be doing an even better job of that at times. But yeah, it's super important to do. So Habbo Hotel is a great place where we can start to, get inspiration from.
Okay, well, we have a small audience today, so it seems like we can probably wrap this up earlier. We've answered most of the questions that we've gotten here. So, oh yeah, this is a really good one. So, when more guidelines and feedback, my decoration was rejected. So, we've actually worked really hard on making the rejections, the descriptions really telling of what you need to work on. So, if you don't understand them, I would recommend hopping in our Discord and just asking for some advice and help. Pixel art is really hard. So I know there's a lot of people here that have done no art in the past and they're trying to do it. And I am so happy and excited that you're doing that, but it is hard and it is a lot of work. And we do have a very high standard. So hop in our Discord. There's lots of people that will help you there. More guidelines are absolutely coming. We've been working really hard on this internally. So expect those in the next several days.
Yeah, not everything will get approved too. Just you have to know that. Like there are like even in some instances there might even be good art that we can't approve because it just doesn't fit what we want to actually put into this core game loop. Like, we probably won't approve like a live looking cow. Because if we ever wanted to introduce cows into the game, for example, that would make it pretty difficult for us. So there's things like that that we might reject also.
Are there any plans for higher level crafting of industries? So you see, it's funny. I talk about personas like every single AMA, but we have two different people here asking for two different things, right? Like you want higher stuff. This is your mayor right now. So he is a grinder. He has done the work. He is a high level in all of these industries, right? And then there's another player asking for like more lower level stuff. So we try to please the masses, and I would say both are coming. Just every release is slightly different and will appease different people. But for our grinders out there, there is something coming. And that's all I can say about that. Okay, I think we can wrap it up here. Don't have a ton to talk about today. Happy Eid, everyone. Absolutely, if you're celebrating. And yeah, thanks for coming out to those of you that did, and we will see you next week. And
Great. Thanks, guys.
happy solstice parties. Bye, guys.